How can a recruit stand in freezing water for hours while others collapse? The answer is a discipline technique civilians almost never hear about. Willpower breaks for most people when stress rises. But in the military, something different happens. Soldiers learn a mental system that doesn't just strengthen discipline, it rewires the brain to obey logic over emotion. This system is the reason ordinary recruits become people capable of enduring what others call impossible. And it's a system the outside world almost never sees. In 2012, before sunrise on a freezing winter morning, a group of recruits were ordered to stand ankle-deep in ice-cold water. Their uniforms were soaked, their bodies shook, and the instructors gave only one rule: hold your position until told otherwise. Most recruits lasted a few minutes before panic and pain took over. Some begged to step out, others collapsed from exhaustion, but one recruit remained still, completely still. His face calm, his breathing controlled, his mind locked into a different state. Instructors later said his calmness didn't come from strength, it didn't come from physical ability. It came from something far more powerful. A discipline system designed to override the body's natural urge to escape discomfort. A psychological framework that tells the mind, you can endure more than you think. This system is the secret behind military willpower, and it changes everything inside a soldier's mind. Military discipline is not about punishment or strict rules. It is a mental architecture built carefully to reshape how a soldier responds to stress, fear, pain, and uncertainty. The goal is simple: to replace emotional reactions with controlled action. When civilians face discomfort, they step back. When soldiers face discomfort, they lean in. This system matters because the battlefield demands endurance that most minds are not naturally built to handle. Discipline becomes the invisible armor that protects a soldier long before physical strength does. It is the difference between reacting and responding, between quitting and continuing, between breaking and becoming unbreakable. Inside military bases, the pressure never fully disappears. Alarms sound without warning. Schedules change instantly. Orders come with no explanation. Every day forces the mind to adapt faster than it wants to. Psychologists studying elite units discovered something unusual. The brain becomes tougher when exposed to controlled stress repeatedly. Maps, briefings, and mission rehearsals create a structure the mind anchors to. Checklists keep emotions from taking over. Clear tasks prevent panic from widening. This is where the discipline system begins, not with shouting or punishment, but with mental frameworks built to reduce chaos and increase control. During high-pressure exercises, the mind experiences a rising spiral of tension. Heart rate climbs. Thoughts scatter. Fear pushes the brain toward escape. This psychological moment, where the mind tries to quit, is the exact point where discipline is built. Soldiers learn to recognize the instant their mind begins to break. Instead of giving in, they use the system to counter it, not by ignoring pain, not by forcing strength, but by changing the meaning of discomfort, by turning suffering into information, and by controlling their reactions 1 second at a time. The military discipline system is built around something called micro-obedience, a method that trains the brain to follow small, precise actions even under stress. Instead of thinking about the whole task, soldiers focus on the next 5 seconds, then the next, and then the next. This shifts the mind away from panic and into execution. By obeying small commands, stand here, breathe slowly, take 1 step, hold position, the brain learns that control is possible in any situation. Over time, these small actions reprogram the mind to resist quitting. The body feels pain, but the mind feels direction. And direction defeats discomfort. The human brain is not built for long suffering. Under stress, it releases signals that push you to stop. Muscles burn, thoughts become loud, fear tries to take command. But micro-obedience changes the brain's chemistry. It reduces the mental load. It lowers the fear response. It activates the logical part of the brain and quiets the emotional part. Small actions release dopamine instead of panic hormones, making endurance feel possible. This creates a feedback loop where each tiny success strengthens willpower. This is why long tasks break people, but small tasks build them. A former Army Ranger once described the moment he was ordered to carry a wounded teammate uphill for nearly a mile. His legs burned, his back screamed, his vision blurred. Every part of his body told him to stop. But he didn't think about the hill. He didn't think about the distance. He focused only on taking 3 steps, then 3 more, then 3 more. He said those steps saved him, not because they were easy, but because they kept his mind from collapsing under the weight of the task. That is the power of micro-obedience. It turns an impossible mission into a series of manageable actions. Civilians face a different kind of battlefield. Deadlines, responsibilities, long-term goals, pressure, and emotional exhaustion. But the mind reacts the same way it does in training. When overwhelmed, the brain wants to quit. It wants to escape discomfort. It wants relief. Micro-obedience works here too. Instead of thinking about the full task, focus on the next 5 seconds, the next single action, the next small step. This breaks stress into pieces the brain can handle, and it builds discipline with the same psychological mechanism soldiers use. True willpower is not built in moments of comfort. It is built in the seconds when your mind whispers, "Stop," but you choose one more step instead. The military teaches that discipline is not a personality trait. It is a practiced skill, a series of small decisions repeated until the mind becomes stronger than the moment. Micro-obedience is only the first layer of military discipline. There is another technique, one far more powerful, that soldiers use to stay calm, focused, and disciplined even when fear is at its peak. A technique that transforms panic into control. We explore that secret in the next episode.